What is up, everyone? Jay here with another Fire Emblem Heroes video, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the upcoming Archanea Hall of Forms units that have just been revealed / data mined. So I'm pretty excited for it. It definitely has some really good stuff and some firsts for Hall of Forms. So this is just going to be a video of me talking about it, kind of an overview. I'm not going to be going over every single build or skill you might put on these units, going for the skills on Hall of Forms, but just going to be a bit of my recommendation. And also just talking about them as units and my opinion of them. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked for Archanea Hall of Forms every year. Last year we had young Merrick, young Marth, young Sheeta, and female Chris, and this year we have you already saw them, but legendary Tiki, brave Marth, Plegian Chris, and Plegian Katarina. So pretty awesome lineup, honestly. I mean, Chris and Katarina aren't definitely not the best ones, but the stars of the show are definitely legendary Tiki and brave Marth. So we'll start with legendary Tiki. She's the very first legendary unit on Hall of Forms, the very first one. So if you've played Hall of Forms, the start screen has a bunch of legendary units on it and some mythic units like Air, Viorm, legendary Marth are on there, but they've never been featured actually on Hall of Forms, and legendary Tiki finally is the very first one. So that's pretty cool, and it was kind of expected though, because Tiki was expected to have a rerun or scheduled for April, but there was no legendary banner that she was going to show up on, so it was a bit weird. So a lot of people, including myself, expected her to be on Hall of Forms, and she is. And that's the question: where is she going to be summonable? She's going to be summonable on the Hall of Forms banner, which is nice that they're actually doing Hall of Forms banner, because there's all kinds of banners for all kinds of things, so it's nice that they're actually doing Hall of Forms banners for those people who might want to get merges for these units, including myself, because my legendary Tiki is only +2. Haven't had the best luck trying to get merges for her. The last time I went for her was a couple months ago when she was sharing with Viorm, and I only got like 1 copy and like 3 Viorms, so it was a bit rough. I mean, to be fair, I haven't been going for her that much over the years whenever she appeared, because I was always prioritizing other units or saving orbs. But yeah, it's just nice that she's going to be summonable. It'd be kind of weird if they just didn't make her summonable at all, but it's really cool that she's the very first legendary unit on Hall of Forms, and this sets a precedence because now other legendaries in the future might be featured as well. So that's pretty cool. And as a unit, she's a very underrated save tank in my opinion. Definitely not the best, but she is pretty good if you do invest into her. Her entire kit needs a rehaul. You have to like replace every skill she has pretty much, like Bolt Fighter, you're not going to use that. And obviously, you learn her new Refine and her, not new, but her Refine and her With Everyone 2 skill, which is really good because it gives her +4 to all her stats, unlike, the regular save units that, or save skills that just give to 2 stats. And she also grants a defensive res +6 buff to everyone, which is really cool because, pairing her with someone like Brave Marth, who can buff everyone's attack, it's really good to have With Everyone 2, and it just makes her very bulky and fast. And you can definitely speed stack with her, like my build right here. Steady Posture is an option, a form skill or something like that. And Divine Mist, even though it's not the craziest weapon Refine, like I was kind of disappointed and underwhelmed by it when it came out, it's still pretty good once you set it up. Just get yourself bulky, but obviously low skills are a problem, and her dragon weakness, she's not the best save tank, but she is pretty underrated in my opinion. Even with this Refine that's not the newest, still pretty good because it does have built-in distance counter, so you don't have to run distance counter Dragon Seal and stuff like that, or distance counter in the A or whatever. So Divine Mist is pretty good, honestly. She's pretty underrated in my opinion, and she is one of the faster dragon tanks, or armor should I say, so you can definitely speed stack. Like I said, you can run other posture skills or other stance skills. You can run Unity if you want to deal with debuffs. I mean, she does come with Slick Fighter, but personally I think I'd rather run Unity, and then you can run like Crafty Fighter with Unity. You can also run Hardy Fighter. As you can see, Hardy Fighter is pretty much good on every armor that can use it, and With Everyone 2 is pretty much the one you want to keep. But I guess you can use other skills like, I don't know, a Menace or something if you don't want to use her as a save unit. But overall, Tiki is a really cool unit and pretty fun to use. Like I said, she's not the best, but she definitely has helped me in like stuff like Summer Duels S, where I can't use my go-to Winter Marth, my main save unit, my boy right here. You can't use the same save unit for all your teams, obviously, so Tiki has helped me and in those modes. So she's a pretty good save tank in my opinion, and very underrated. So I'd recommend getting her especially if you're merging her up like me. Definitely a nice merge for sure. And she's a pretty decent Earth legendary, not the best obviously, but she's pretty good. I mean, she has to watch out for a lot of threats that may just nuke her, but Divine Mist can definitely serve its role, and it's a very simple weapon. So Tiki's pretty solid overall. The next unit is my boy Brave Marth, in my opinion the best unit on this Hall of Forms, and one of the best units in the game in general. There's not really much more I can say about Brave Marth, but I will say much more about him. Brave Marth, I've talked about him extensively in my videos. I use him extensively in my videos if you watch them. I use him for every single mode, 8th raid, summer duels, arena, you name it. Brave Marth is there, and he's just so dang good. Like, I can't vouch enough for him. He's like I'm a Brave Marth advocate. I've been using him ever since his release when I plus 10'd him, and he's just very unique even to this day as a sword of infantry, being able to buff everyone up. You know, you have units like Astrum now that can buff everyone up, but the thing is, he has to be within 2 space of an ally, while Brave Marth can buff everyone up no matter where he is on the map. So that's really cool, as long as he triggers his special, and it's still very strong. You know, and his weapon is just so good, giving him so many effects, no follow-up, plus $5 stats, Vantage, and the Vantage is what makes him really unique, because he can pretty much sweep with that, with his, you know, distant pressure. It's in his kit already. You can run Special Spiral 4, I guess you can also use that, but I like to use Close Call 4 because it gives him even more damage reduction, and also has the hit and run effect, which is really useful in summer duels especially. And Time Pulse 4 is really good with Advantage, because basically once Time Pulse 4 is set up and you trigger your Shining Emblem, you know, the Vantage hit is going to allow you to pretty much trigger Shining Emblem on every single hit thanks to Time Pulse 4. So these skills that I have on mine are pretty much the ones I recommend. Obviously he comes with Distant Pressure already, but you can use Distant Dart if you like, because that if you want to just go full enemy phase, because Distant Pressure also works in the player phase. But if you don't care about the player phase, you just want to make Marth as strong as possible in the enemy phase, you can definitely run Distant Dart, or even Distant Ferocity or something, or Distant Stance if you can't get anything else. Close Call 4 is really good. I think that's going to be on the Hall of Forms, because the Lear was out like in January, so I'm pretty sure that's in the Hall of Forms. Or if not, you could use Velocity, which is pretty good for the guard effect to help him trigger his special if he's not using Time Pulse 4 and not pre-charging it. You can also use Speed Smoke 4 in the sea. That's pretty much Time Pulse 4 in the sea and Speed Smoke 4. I'm stumbling. Time Pulse 4 and Speed Smoke 4 are pretty much the best C slots for him in my opinion. I guess you could run a Menace, but then you're already buffing your attack already. You're buffing all your stats. He comes with Even Tempest. I guess you can go for Odd Tempest, but overall, Time Pulse 4 and Speed Smoke 4 are the best C skills for him in my opinion. Those are the ones I usually use. Time Pulse 4 is amazing for the distant counter builds, just being able to trigger Vantage on every single, or trigger Shining Emblem on every single Vantage hit. So the specials, Shining Emblem is the best one overall obviously, but you can also opt for Vital Astra. I would try to get that if you can, or Godlike Reflexes, which can help him against units like Brave Seliph that can give him trouble. But overall, Shining Emblem is going to be the most useful, especially if you're not using anyone else to buff him up or buff up your allies, because if you're running Vital Astra or Godlike Reflexes or like Gale Force or something, you have to buff someone else up by another unit, because you know Shining Emblem already does that for you. But if you don't use that, then Genesis Falchions effects won't be in play. So you want to use him with someone like Faye or like Legendary Zera or something if you are using other specials. Those are definitely other options, but Shining Emblem overall is going to be the most useful. But I've definitely used Vital Astra. I have it on mine. I don't have Godlike Reflexes on mine, but it does help against units like Brave Seliph, for example, who can give him trouble. But yeah, Brave Marth, should I say. I can just keep going on and on why he's so good. I'm not going to try to make this super long, but yeah, I went over it basically. Those are the skills I recommend. Also, Unity is really good for the A, because he does struggle against debuff sometimes, because he is a big stat ball, so he can be susceptible to those. So attack speed Unity is also really amazing. I mean, Unity skills are good in general. So definitely Distant Dart, attack speed Unity, and also, of course, almost forgot to mention attack speed Finish. That is one of the most coveted skills right now, and that's really good for Marth because he wants to be within the proximity of his allies, and also gives him extra healing, so he can basically heal 12 HP with a finish and his weapon, you know, if he has the conditions met. So attack speed Finish is really good with him. If you can't get that, I definitely go for Unity. And if you can't get like or if you want to go for a distant counter skill, definitely go for Distant Dart. In my opinion, that's the best, because it gives him more speed and also more speed-based damage reduction with stuff like Spurn, Close Call, and Velocity. So yeah, like I said, I can keep going on and on why Brave Marth's amazing. He's just one of the best sword infantry units in the game, and he's aged really, really well because of the skills that he has access to now, and just how unique he is as a sword infantry and omni tank. Because even though he has a lot more competition now with stuff like Alir and Felix 2 is coming out, he's still really unique in his role, and being able to support his allies along with kicking ass is amazing. So yeah, I can't say enough about my boy Brave Marth. He's amazing, and he is getting his refine this year, later around August, September. So really looking forward to that. I'm just kind of scared. I was talking to a few friends about it, like, The fact that he's on Hall of Forms may mean that they're going to nerf his refine a little bit or make it a little more tame, you know, kind of like the Sothis situation where Sothis was on the packs for a while. And obviously this is a different situation, but like when a unit becomes more available, they might make the refine less cracked, which I'm kind of scared about, but I think they're going to make his refine really good. He is a CYL winner. Obviously there's some CYL refine losers, but Brave Marth's amazing. I mean, obviously some people might argue he doesn't even need a refine, but it's going to happen, I think, unless they just completely change it. But I really hope it makes him at least really like substantially better, because he does have weaknesses, of course. He's not invincible, of course, but I really hope it makes him substantially better or gives him some kind of new life, because even though he's still really good, the refine is going to help him, really keep up. So I'm hoping that refine is good, even if he is on this Hall of Forms. But it's really nice that they are putting one of the best sword infantry units in this Hall of Forms. We've had obviously the 3 houses Braves already, so Brave Marth isn't that surprising, but when I saw him on here, I was like, man, I can't believe they're actually giving him out. So I'm kind of tempted to get him, even though I already have him at +10. I'm kind of tempted to go for him just because I still have the Brave Marth manual, so I could go for a merge. I'm not that type of guy who merges multiple +10s of the same unit, but with this, I'm kind of considering it. maybe, I don't know. I don't know if I want to use another Forma just for this other Brave Marth, but I definitely could if I'm crazy enough. I don't know. I have to see, but I'm definitely getting Tiki at the very least. But yeah, that's enough about Brave Marth. I've went over and over about him. So definitely, that's the unit I recommend the most out of this for sure. And then the third unit is my boy Plegian Chris. A lot of people have merged him up. I mean, I merged him up because he is Archanea, but a lot of people merged him up because of his art. Definitely really amazing art. You can definitely land a plane on his back, and he is a Grail unit, of course. He's not going to have a PRF, obviously, but you can utilize a lot of the good axes, like Unbound Axe, his default Plegian Axe, obviously. Give him skills like Attack, Defense, Menace, or Lull skill, Trace skill, obviously. Pretty much the standard stuff you'd expect on a fast offensive Cavalier of any kind, really. Give him Gale Force, Ruptured Sky or something. Oh, I guess Ruptured Sky wouldn't be that good with his weapon and like Attack, Defense, Menace, because people forget that Ruptured Sky scales off the foe's attack. So if you're lowering it all the time, lowering it like crazy, it's not going to do that much. But yeah, you can definitely use Gale Force. You can give him like the Ninja, Masakari, Ninja weapons. You could give him, what other axes are there? You can't give him the Arcane Downfall because that's not on Hall of Forms, I don't think, unfortunately. But you can definitely give him a lot of axes. Like I said, the skills for him are pretty simple, nothing crazy, but he can be nice, especially if you're merging him up. Of course, you're going to be able to get a free merge, free quote unquote, and save grails. So I already +10 him, so I don't need to go for him. But it'd be nice to deck him out with more stuff. But I'm a guy that likes the natural gold stars. So that's why I don't really go for the Forma. Like, Young Marth was on the Forma last year, but as you can see, mine is just the 5-star. Even though I already had him at +10, I didn't want to get the Forma blue stars because I like the natural quote-unquote gold stars, and I already have him at +10 and had him with enough good skills where I didn't really need those crazy skills. Obviously, I could have upgraded him. So I guess that would have been the optimal choice, but I prefer having those natural gold stars instead of the blue ones. I do go for Forma +10s, like recently Altina, I did +10, or Altena, sorry. To +10 with the Forma, but that's because she's not my absolute favorite. I like her, of course, but she's not my absolute favorite. But for my absolute favorites, and if they're already +10, I try to avoid going for the blue stars if I can. Nasala, I did go for the Forma because he didn't have the greatest amount of skills, so I decked him out with stuff. Young Sheeta, I did go for the merge last year because I haven't been going for her that much, well, ever since her first debut banner, but she's not +10, so that's why I went for the Forma. So it kind of depends, but overall, if I can avoid going for the blue Forma stars, I try to avoid it. For me personally, that's just me. It's just kind of I guess it's a personal thing. If I can avoid the blue stars, so I like having the natural gold stars instead of the blue ones, because like I wouldn't Forma this Brave Marth and merge it into this one, because this one already has enough skills in my opinion that I'm comfortable with, and I don't want to have the blue take over the gold. So that's just me. I went a bit of a tangent there, but I don't know if you guys are similar, but I know some people are also like that. But yeah, if you already have Plegian Chris at +10, you already have good skills on him, you don't have to go for him, but you definitely can give him something else like a Trace if you don't have that, or other premium skills. But yeah, Plegian Chris is pretty solid. He's a solid Axe Cavalier, definitely one of the better ones, even among a lot of them that we have. But yeah, he's pretty good. And then the last unit is his fellow 7th platoon member, Katarina. So I love Katarina, but her alt here isn't the greatest. Fel Flambeau isn't the greatest weapon. It's basically like an Omni Plegian Tome that has -1 cooldown. That's blue. It's okay. Even at the time, it was all right. But you know, Pelagian tomes I guess at the time were pretty crazy, but now we have all kinds of blue or other weapons. But we don't even have Arcane Blue Tome yet, so even if you did have the Arcane Blue Tome, you can't even give that to her at the moment. But she can use other blue tomes. I mean, there's not really that many amazing blue tomes right now, especially for a flyer. I feel like you could give her like Spider Plush, or I'm just gonna look at my regular Lind here, see what kind of tomes I gave her. Juicy Wave, if you want Desperation, you give her Spooky Sensor for Fury builds, even though the Fury builds aren't that common anymore. Like Fury Desperation builds, you can give her Tannid Bit, I guess. You can give her Flora Guide. That's pretty good still for the debuffs. Love Bouquet for support, I suppose. Spider Plush for the guard effect. Magical Lantern, I think that's going to be on here. That could be kind of nice. But it kind of wastes because it has the terrain movement, and she's a flyer, so she doesn't really care about most terrain anyway. But yeah, I guess the blue tomes for her kind of suck right now. So Katarina can't really use that many crazy blue tomes right now, like compared to Chris. But for her A skills and stuff, you can definitely give her stuff like Solo. I mean, she already comes with that, but you can give her, I guess, Remote Sparrow. I think Remote Sparrow's on here that you can get from Kade and Lind. Shout out to my girl. But yeah, you can give her Remote Sparrow. You can give her, like, I guess, Remote Mirror. That might be too soon. I don't know every exact skill that's going to be available for this Hall of Forms, but I'm assuming Remote Sparrow is going to be available. So you could use that on Katarina, I guess, and also like a tier 3 chill if you want to, you know, go all out for her debuffs, you know, for her weapon to work. And then you can give her attack res Ryan, you can give her attack res Menace, of course. You could give her guidance for, no, guidance 4 is not going to be on here. Never mind, that's too soon. You can give her joint skills, I guess, as well. So I mean, it's just the standard. It's like Chris, you know, the standard stuff you expect from a ranged flyer, but ranged flyers are a bit restricted, so they don't have the most amount of available skills. But you can definitely deck out Katarina with a lot of good stuff, and I might try to form her depending on how many good skills I get. But it's gonna be hard because I want to get like 2 of them at the very least, or at least 1 of them at the very least. And you know, you only have so many torches, so you kind of have to get lucky with these. But yeah, that's pretty much the overview of the Archanea Hall of Forms. I know I went on a bit of a tangent there, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys get the good amount of skills you want if you are trying to go for any of these units. Again, my recommendation is definitely Brave Marth. He is the GOAT. He is so dang good. Like I said, I can't say much more about how good he is. Just amazing. And I'm hoping his Refine is really, really good as well. And Legendary Tiki is a second recommendation pretty much if you don't already have Brave Marth at +10, or you don't want to go for him. Tiki's definitely a pretty underrated option in my opinion. You know, she can definitely serve as even unmerged, you know, like Sacred Cowl build, you know, Hardy Fighter. You can definitely make her kind of annoying, or at least be like a sacrifice in Summer Duel or something if you do need a save tank, because save tanks, you know, are pretty much imperative in that mode, and like Aether Raids too as well for the most part. But yeah, that's my recommendation. Definitely Tiki and Marth at the start of the show, the very first legendary unit on Hall of Forms. And Brave Marth's not the very first Brave, but he is still one of the very first Braves on Hall of Forms as well. And Chris and Katarina, those are like mostly for merge projects, or if you absolutely love Katarina. I do love Katarina, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go for a merge for off to see. But I would love to get all 4 of these, but I don't think I have enough Forma Souls. But at the very least, like I said, I would love to get Tiki. But yeah, that's pretty much my overview of them. I probably missed a few skills that you can run on them, maybe, but like I said, I'm not going to go over every single skill, but that's just a general idea, and hopefully you guys can get some good skills for them. I love Archanea, so Hall of Forms is always an exciting time. And I was kind of scared that they would put Summer Lind on it, but at this point I don't think she's ever going to be on here, because objectively speaking, Summer Lind is actually one of the worst Dagger Cavaliers. She came out so long ago, so there's so many more better statted Cavaliers. But for me, I don't need her because she's already a Forma, basically, for me, because I already +10 her and gave her so many skills, pretty much every skill I want. So even though she's one of the worst objectively, I love her. And she might not ever be on Hall of Forms, but it's okay. At this point, you know, they don't really put like super duper old seasonals, I feel like, because Katarina's not that old, even though she is seasonal. They could have put Nagi as well. I think Nagi would have been really cool, because I would love to get her with good skills. There's definitely a lot of Archanea Hall of Form options, like Ninja Navarre maybe next year, Spring Minerva or something. So there's a lot of cool options, but I'm overall happy with the lineup they picked this year. So yeah, that's my video. I know I might have went on a tangent a bit, but yeah, I just want to talk about this really quick for this Hall of Forms lineup. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and good luck on your torches and getting those skills, guys. Please stay safe out there, and peace out.